Hey guys, this is Mark here, and I just thought I'd share with you this quick video. As some of you may be aware, I just returned from a weekend in Adelaide with Herbalife, the company that I'm involved with, and I thought I'd share with you some of the great insights that I got from that weekend. Now, it doesn't really matter whether you're in business with me or not. Whether you're looking, for a business and you haven't quite decided where you want to be, or perhaps even if you are in a business already, it doesn't really matter. The point of this video is to share some of the things that I learned over that weekend that I think, or I know I should say, will help you no matter what business that you're in getting to that next level, and maybe even help you sift through all the various opportunities that are out there. But some of the things I want to share with you today on this video, I think will really give you a different mindset into what I picked up on as to why certain people, become more successful than others. It really was an inspirational event where many six-figure income earners shared their story with us. This was about 1,500 attendees at the event in Adelaide, and some really inspirational stories, including, for example, Imran, who's a Iranian refugee, believe it or not. He actually left Iran when he was 13 on his own. And look, I won't go into his story in detail, but his story was horrific. It was truly horrific, what he's gone through. But fast forward today, he lives an amazing life here in Australia. And he earns significantly more money than most would even think possible. It just goes to show. So what is it that the likes of him and others makes them successful versus some others that aren't? What are the key components? Number one, and I thought I'd just jot some of these down on the whiteboard for you to help you, and obviously take notes as I'm doing it. Number one, and by far probably one of the most important things, is decision. Decide to do something. Decision. It really is, I see it time and time again, it really is one of the major stumbling blocks for people that don't decide. They don't draw the line in the sand and say, no more is my life going to look like the way it does currently. I'm going to make a decision and commit to doing something different. And it truly is a commitment. It's not a maybe I give it a go and see what happens. It's not one of those. It's I am going to do this no matter what, and I am going to be successful at it. That's the decision. And from that, and again, very, very important, comes a desire to do so. And these two really are obviously quite closely interlinked. But it truly is a burning desire. If you've read obviously Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, which I thoroughly encourage you to do so if you haven't, that is the number one in his list, number one principle of success. And without desire, it's very, very hard to get successful. So you have to understand what your why is. What is your why? For many people while I was there, they came from impoverished backgrounds, bankruptcy, struggling to put food on the table. They've got a family to feed. Perhaps, they're suffering incredible stress from a job that they may already have. But whatever it is, it's that line in the sand saying, no more am I going to put up with the life that I'm living. I'm sick and tired of what I'm putting up with each day. No more. And no matter what obstacle is thrown in front of me, I'm going to continue with my journey. Persistence, another key component. Once you've got these two figured out, and you actually decide for yourself that you want to change your life and you have that burning desire, The next thing to work out is your objective or your goals. You decide you want to do something and you're not going to stop until you succeed. You know, you've got that burning desire, but what is it that you're wanting to achieve? And, you know, I obviously coach many people in my business, and this is one of the things that the majority of people who fail don't do well. Setting out their objectives, setting out their goals, setting out their roadmap. And I like to put it this way. You know, let's just pretend that you know, and your family have decided to go on a bit of a road trip, you know, a bit of a holiday. And, you know, this is something that you probably don't do when you're doing that. You don't say to your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever it is, hey, let's go on holiday, let's go for a bit of a road trip. You pack your suitcases, you get everything together, you jump in the car, you drive out the garage, and then you just start driving. Yeah, I mean, that would be, you know, a bit of an interesting thing to do, obviously. What you probably will do is decide where you're going to go. Yeah, where's your destination? You know, I live on the Gold Coast, and I may decide to drive to Sydney, yeah, for a trip, or up to Cairns, or up to Sunshine Coast. But I made that decision and set that goal before I set off. My goal is to get to Sydney or Cairns or wherever. However, when many people start out in business, they don't set themselves a target, an income target, for example. You know, I want to earn $10,000 per month by the 30th of June 2013. Yeah? And if you don't do that, basically what happens is, you know, your brain divided, you may have heard this already, but your mind is divided up between the conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And it's your subconscious mind that's infinitely more powerful than your conscious mind. Your conscious mind's there as a bit of a filter. It's like a guard person, if you like. And it's your conscious mind's job to let ideas penetrate into the subconscious mind or to be rejected. You know, but your subconscious mind just takes anything as fact or as truth. So if you tell something your subconscious mind often enough, it will start to form a habit for you. So it will start to form habits that are the exact actions you need to do in order to attain that goal. Because we as humans are creatures of habit. If you think about it, we do things habitually every day. You get up, you know, you probably go on the same websites, you may watch the same TV channels, you may listen to the same radio stations, you probably go for a coffee roughly the same time every morning, you know, and so on and so on and so on. You just do the same thing over and over again, generally speaking. And, you know, that's because we're habit. Now, what we need to do to change those habits so that we start doing actions on a more regular basis that makes us become successful is, first of all, tell your brain, tell your subconscious mind what it is that it needs to achieve. And keep repeating that over and over again. You know, write it down. This is very important stuff here. Write that objective and that goal down so you can see it every single day, preferably in the morning when you first wake up and before you go to sleep. And get your subconscious mind working on that goal. Yeah, very important. From that overall goal, what you then need to do is to then break that down into, if you like, mini goals and then actions. So for example, if we said that your goal was to earn 10k per month by, let's call it the 31st of March 2013, how exactly are you going to do that? So this is where you need to start building up a plan of action. And we refer in Herbalife to 90-day plans. So for example, to get to 10 grand by the 31st of March, which is a 90-day plan, what exactly are the steps you need to do each week, each day, and each hour in order to achieve that goal. So you start to break it down. That's my bird in the background, by the way, in case you're wondering. But you know, for us, for example, it may be that we need to sell you know, X number of products per day. Let's say we need to sell one product a day in your business. Yeah, one product a day. Where shall I put this? One product per day. Let's say if we sold one product per day, by the 31st of March we're now earning $10,000 per month. Let's just say that. So then what you do, you need to start measuring how many people you need to speak to in order to convert one person. Yeah. You know, and obviously in future videos I might talk a little bit about how we can improve that ratio and that conversion rate. But you know, whether it's speaking to people or getting people onto a website or making appointments or phone calls or whatever it is, whatever your activity is, your daily activity, how many people need to see your offer per day in order to sell one product per day? Yeah? So let's say, for example, you need to get 100 people per day to your website. Yeah? Per day to website. Because your website has a conversion of 1%. Yeah? 100 people visit your website, you sell one product. So you need to get 100 people per day to your website. So in order to do that, what do you need to do every single day in order to generate enough traffic so that 100 people get to your website a day? You know, and this is not an internet marketing video by any means, and there's certainly a lot of material out there, you know, whether it's video marketing, pay-per-click advertising, social media, you know, there's heaps of ways to generate traffic online. But these are your measurable activities. Yeah, these are your measurable activities. It may be that you need to speak to 10 people a day in order to sell one product per day. Maybe you need to call 50 people to sell one product per day. Whatever it is, work at the main point is that you work out what your overall objective and goal is, and then break it down to sub-goals, and then to actions that you can do on a daily basis that's going to enable you to achieve this major goal. And then once you've done that, basically, literally, what we do, and it works very well, is to diarize those actions. Yeah, so you get a Monday to Friday, or Monday to Saturday, or Monday to Sunday diary for the next 90 days, literally every single day, and start entering things in your diary, you know, by hour. So obviously put the things in that you need to do, like take kids to school or go to work if you've got a job and you're doing something part-time. You know, you've got certain other commitments, bit of social time, whatever it is. Fill those in, then look at the blanks, look at the gaps where you've got free time. And then put in things, actions, activities that you can do to produce this one sale per day. And I'm going to spend 1 hour on the phone speaking to 10 people. Diarize that, you know. I'm going to do that from 5 to 6 on a Monday, then a Tuesday, and then a Wednesday I'm going to do a video, whatever it is, yeah? And then commit to doing those activities. Measure yourself, make sure you're doing it. Measure how many products you sell by doing the current activities that you're doing. And if you're not selling one product a day, then you're going to have to increase your activity. Yeah, maybe you need to get 200 visits per day to your website in order to sell one product. But you need to measure that. This is very important. You need to measure that in order to know what's working and what's not. What activity are you doing, or the activity are you doing, is it enough? Yeah. And obviously, you know, you may be getting 2 sales per day for 100 websites, which is great. We can now change your goal to 20 grand a month. Yeah, on this example. So this is very important that for a lot of home-based business people, they don't get this objective setting, this goal setting. It's so, so important to do. One final thing I just want to quickly talk to you about, one of the final components, which again is a big area where people fail, is persistence. persistence. You know, when you first start out working from home, it can be quite hard, it can be quite challenging, and like anything in life, people are going to say no to your offering, to your product or service. You know, even people, even Apple or Samsung or Microsoft or Mercedes, Ferrari, not everybody buys their product or service. So not everybody's going to buy your product or service either. But what's important is that you keep going. You continue with your daily actions. You continue with the actions that you wrote in your diary that we had earlier. Generating the traffic, calling 10 people, speaking to 15 people, whatever it is. You continue doing that. And if you remember, I just spoke to you very briefly about that concept of going on a road trip, yeah? So you've decided that you're going to drive from the Gold Coast, for example, where I live, to Sydney. So you've set that objective out. You've worked out a route, a path, you travel down the Pacific Highway, you may stop off at Coffs Harbour or something like that. You've planned it all out. What time you're going to set off, you may have a stopover, what time you're going to set off the next day, what time you expect to get there, the day and time you expect to get to Sydney. So you've set all that out, planned it out, the map, the route, etc. You get halfway to Sydney, and there's been a tragic accident on the road in front, and the road's blocked. You can't get through. And the police are walking up and down advising motorists that there's going to be an incredibly long wait because there's been a fatality. And the police have got to come and do a full inspection, a coroner report's got to be done, investigation, blah blah blah. And it's completely thrown out your plans. Now at this stage, what do? You've planned this holiday for ages, yeah? You've been looking forward to it for weeks and weeks and months. You've got plans when you get to Sydney, the things you're going to see. You're going to do the bridge climb, you're maybe going to see some friends or some relatives that you've not spoken to for ages. You've got some really, this is going to be one of your best trips of the year. So you've really been looking forward to it. You've already got halfway. Maybe you've got a little bit further than halfway, but there's a roadblock. What do? Do you turn around and go back home? Or do you sit and wait it out? Or do you actually seek an alternative path? Do you seek for a diversion? Do you get out the map? Or tap into your nav man? Or your TomTom? For an alternate path, an alternate route? Yeah? You look for a different road that diverts around the roadblock. You seek an alternative strategy. This is what you do in life every day. But when it comes to business, when you're working for yourself, a lot of people, unfortunately, hit a roadblock, the road's closed in front of them, they're not getting the results that they're quite looking for, and they say, that doesn't work. This business doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. People are never going to buy off me. I'm no good at this. Whatever. Well, I can tell you, pretty much every successful business person throughout time has hit this roadblock at least once. At least once. But more realistically, 10, 100 times. Including the likes of Steve Jobs from Apple. Including the likes of Walt Disney. Henry Ford. These huge gurus in business, they've all hit this same thing. But it doesn't mean that they gave up. They just figured out what was going wrong and changed it. Yeah, so they figured out what their weakest link was and where things were not going quite right, and they took steps to improve things. Because they had a burning desire, they made the decision, this is how it all ties in, they made the decision to change their life, and they had a burning desire to do so, no matter what, yeah? Excuse me, this then fuels, you've got this sorted, and truly is a burning desire. No amount of roadblocks can stop you from getting to your end goal, or your end, to succeed. It's the fuel, persistence, it is your fuel. So it's important, that when you're having your objectives and your goals set out and your daily method of operation, your activities, what you're going to do, if things are not quite working for you, you know, people are saying no, or you're not getting the results that you want, and you know, you're looking at your 90-day plan and you're seeing that, you know, crikey, I'm only at $1,000 a month and I've got 9 to go, you know, and I'm midway through February, so I've only got a couple of weeks to go before I hit my target. What is it that's falling down? Work your way down, and then you may realize that, hey, for 10 phone calls a day, I'm only getting half a sale. So I need to go up to 20, you know, or 30 calls a day to get to that 1 sale a month, or the 2 sales a month, or whatever it is you need to generate the income you're after. But in order to do that, you need that persistence factor. This is very, very important. You know, it's important that you don't give up. That's just, you know, as I said, some of the things that I learned, or was reinforced, I should say, over the weekend in Adelaide. You know, we have some tremendous training events with Herbalife, and I'm very privileged and proud to be part of that organisation and the trainings that I receive. But look, no matter what business you're in, whether you're in business with me or not, you know, my goal with you, you know, as a thank you for being, you know, on my database, is to help you. Yeah, if I help you become more successful in whatever business you're involved in, then as far as I'm concerned, I've done my job. So over the next course of the, you know, coming weeks or months, I'll probably drop you a line now and again just to give you a little bit of information on things that I've picked up along the way, you know, that might help you out, whether you're part of my business or not. It doesn't matter. I'm here to help you anyway. And you know what? All I want to do to finish off this video, no matter what you're doing, is wish you the best of luck, and wish you a very prosperous and happy 2013.